And the Delores Huerta Foundation is hosting a Census 2020 town hall, all part of its community outreach campaign to increase participation in Kern County's hard-to-count areas. Organizers say they're educating community members about the importance of being counted in the upcoming census and their right to confidentiality. The town hall is happening at the local 220 Labor Union off H Street in Bakersfield today at 5:30 p.m. And Bike Bakersfield and Bike Arvin handing out some free bike lights, all part of their annual project, Light Up the Night. With the sun setting early this time of year, staff says it's important that bicycles are visible on the roadway. Staff members and volunteers will be installing lights and educating people on how to properly fit and adjust helmets. You must have your bike with you to receive these lights. It's happening a little bit earlier from 3 to 6 o'clock at the David Nelson Pocket Park on Niles Street. And it's a big day ahead for children and families across the county for the 17th annual National Adoption Day. Tomorrow, the Kern County Department of Human Services will host the special day for families at the Superior Court Juvenile Justice Building. Celebrations will include both children being adopted out of foster care and those being adopted through private adoption in Kern County. Once it's all finalized, families are then invited to attend a celebratory event.
In other news, the Delano Police Department needs your help to identify and track down a man who's wanted for vandalism and was captured on home doorbell video. Check it out right here. The DPD releasing this clip from October 20th. Officers were dispatched to this home and released this video from the doorbell cam on Newport Court. Now, this is near Browning Road and County Line Road. You can see the man right here in the dark-colored sweatshirt, blue or purple, knock on the door, then kind of peer in the window. The homeowners told police. Then moments later, he pulled the doorbell camera out of the wall. Police say he was last seen exiting the front passenger seat of a white four-door vehicle. If you think you know who this is, you're asked to contact authorities.
A Tulare woman was arrested for allegedly smuggling and selling skin cream that reportedly had dangerous levels of mercury in them. According to the California U.S. Attorney's Office, 30-year-old Marin Magallanes sold the creams on Facebook. Officials say she would promise the skin creams from Mexico could, quote, lighten the skin color, remove age spots, and treat acne. She reportedly sold products to 2 specific victims and an undercover agent. Officials say authorities have found tainted creams all over California, including here in Kern County. She faces a maximum of 26 years in federal prison.
Well, you may remember him as the Walmart yodeling boy, but since then, Mason Ramsey has put out an album and a couple of music videos as well. And tomorrow you can see him right here in Bakersfield.
I don't know what I do. All I do is say, oh Lord, that last long day she said goodbye.
Yeah, you might remember that viral video. Well, now the 12-year-old is going on tour, and he's making a stop right here in Bakersfield. He calls himself Lil Hank Williams because, well, he was yodeling a Hank Williams song in that Walmart when he became famous. And since then, he's been on The Ellen Show, performed at Coachella, and signed to Big Loud Records. Mason Ramsey will be at the Crystal Palace tomorrow. Tickets are still on sale for $20. Doors open at 5:30. The show is at 8 o'clock, and you can get them on buckowens.com.
He's good. And tickets will also go on sale for the Nickelodeon star JoJo Siwa. You know JoJo? The YouTube sensation. Coming to Bakersfield in March at Mechanics Bank Arena. JoJo, that Nickelodeon superstar who recently won her 3rd Kids' Choice Award for Favorite Social Music Star. Tickets for the Dream Tour will start being available tomorrow at noon. You can get them at axs.com or the box office at Mechanics Bank Arena. All right, let's bring in Elena right now and find out what to front row seat for this.
Yeah, so that system was impacting us so much yesterday. It was very slow to clear out. So we still have a bit of a breeze and some cloud cover. So as we take a look outside, you can see that we have 46 here in Bakersfield. And then up into the mountains, it is freezing in Tehachapi. So let me adjust my microphone really quickly. With freezing temperatures in Tehachapi, we're waking up to some icy conditions on those roadways, especially the smaller mountain roads. Our mountain passes are open 24 in Fraser Park. Some locations are a little bit warmer than that, but there's nothing warm about anybody waking up in the mountains right now. You're going to see some 60s later today for the valley floor. Comes with great air quality in these clearing skies. Sets us up for dense fog tonight and to tomorrow. 49 your high in Tehachapi, 48 in Fraser Park means more snow melt, 57 in Isabella. Down into our desert communities, you're going to see 50s out there. Quick look at our traffic is showing you, like I mentioned, that the passes are open here on the valley floor, just construction to possibly slow you down.
All right, and taking a look now at this story, a Tulare council member that was caught street racing at nearly 100 miles per hour on a street that in fact only allowed drivers to go about 45 miles per hour. We know that he is expecting to be seen before a judge soon. He was stopped in Visalia. We're going to continue following this story for you and bring you the latest details on turn23.com.
All right, very good. Thank you, Alyssa. And the Bakersfield baby shower, brought to you by 23 ABC, is in high gear right now. I know it's still a little dark outside. Oh, the sun's starting to come up. Let's go to 23 ABC's Danielle Kernkamp, who snuck out of here to go take part in all the fun. Danielle.
I know, I made it so fast that you didn't even see me leave. It was really smart. But we're here with Erin Rogers, the executive director of the Bakersfield Pregnancy Center. First of all, thank you so much for coming out and just having everything here for us. This is so exciting. What a great turnout so far.
It has been so exciting to watch the motorcycle riders come in, have Sheriff Youngblood, Hall Ambulance, Covenant Coffee provided coffee. It's a great party. Everybody should come.
I know, everybody should come. So we're here right now. You can drive up, drop off your donations all day till 7:30 p.m. But I want to talk to you about the need for this in our community. Why do you think this is going to be, such a successful drive? Why do we need this here?
We have so many young families who are facing financial difficulties, maybe just needing jobs, just needing support. Having a baby is not cheap, and to have these items that we can provide through the Mission at Kern, the Bakersfield Pregnancy Center, and the Jamison Center, we can come along those young families, support them, and help provide their needs.
What are some of the biggest things that you think people should be able to come and drop off? Obviously, clothes, gently, and both new and used are very important, but what are some of the practical things that people often forget about?
We need diapers, baby wipes are big, shampoo, lotions, powders, diaper rash ointment, pacifiers, bottles, tippy cups, all of those little things that were really important when you had a child, we need for these families too.
Absolutely. Erin, thank you so much for coming out here today. I know you're going to be out here making your way, chatting with people who drive through, so thanks again. Yeah.
Thank you.
We're having so much fun out here, you guys. So today, right now, through 7:30 p.m., you can drive through. You don't have to get out of your car. Just roll down your window, hand us the donations. We'll store them right here on this table. I mean, we already have so much, and it is barely 6:30 in the morning. So far, so good, but we need more. We need your help, and it's all thanks to the community. I'm going to send it back to you guys in Studio A. It's a little bit chilly out here, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, Danielle, you've got 40s out there. Right now in Bakersfield, our new morning low 46. So that's why we're telling you to stay warm in your car, right? 43 up in Delano. 20s down into those South Mountains, freezing in Lebec and Tehachapi, 27 the top of Breckenridge. So that meant that yesterday we had snow in the morning, turned back to rain in the afternoon as expected. That kind of left a slushy mix on the road, which has then refrozen as a thick layer of ice for many of those mountain roads, especially the smaller roads that are less traveled. So for those of you just getting out the door, getting out of your neighborhood is slick, and then once you bit of a fresh breeze left, some nice air quality, some 60s here on the valley floor. Then heading into tomorrow, look how we start stabilizing. So with clear, calm conditions overnight, that saturated soil, we look to really be set up for the perfect conditions for dense valley fog. We're going to try and get that fog to dissipate then in the afternoon, more sunny seasonal 60s. High pressure takes over this weekend. That should mean patchy fog, especially in rural areas. Saturday and Sunday mornings, and then those mid-60s in the afternoons, just above average. Heading further out into next week, because that high pressure is dominating, you see it's just a little bit warmer, but we're not talking about 70s out there. Heading into Tuesday and Wednesday, there's still a slight chance of a storm out there. That's a big deal because Wednesday's our busiest travel day of the year. We know that possibly even millions of people, right, might come through our mountain passes. If there's rain and snow, that's a big deal. Don't cancel your travel plans for Thanksgiving, but just be aware that you may want to leave Tuesday. You may need to wait until later on Wednesday after things have cleared. We'll keep a close eye on it for you. It is cool and clearing for Thanksgiving and Black Friday. Cold and clear overnight for anybody who's going to be out there camping, right? 57 in Kern River Valley today, 60s back this weekend. Tehachapi Fraser Park, icy this morning, 40s this afternoon. Very cold temperatures each night, but seasonal highs each afternoon.
Elena, thank you. It is Valley's football semifinal weekend. We'll tell you all about the schools that are still alive, plus the Clippers finally pairing up their two big superstars against the Celtics. 23 ABC's Carrie Osip has that and more in your morning sports wrap.
Welcome into 23 ABC Sports. I'm Carrie Osep. Third time's a charm, right? Well, what if number 3 is just a charm? Last Friday, Dylan Tooker scoring not once, not twice, but you guessed it, 3 times in the game, and that wasn't even the best part, as he led Liberty to a win in their first playoff game of the season as the Patriots followed the path to reach a back-to-back Central Section final and earning Friday Night Live Player of the Week honors. So what's cooler than scoring 3 touchdowns? Well, that would be how he did it. His first score came on defense as he completed a pick 6 for the Patriots' second score of the game, and then he'd follow that right up with a kickoff return for a touchdown, scampering 75 yards past all of Clovis West players. Before the game was over, Tooker would take off once more, this time on offense, rushing into the end zone from the Wildcat formation, finishing with 3 scores on the night, one from all 3 phases of the game, totaling 135 all-purpose yards as Liberty won 38-14, but Tooker wouldn't take credit for his impressive performance.
Our whole team, we're not selfish. We just play. We do what our coach tells us to do. We do our jobs each and every play. So it either works out your way or you don't have a good game or you have a good game. But I wasn't really expecting a 3-touchdown game. I just was playing my hardest and it came to be that way. Just giving it my all for my team and make sure we got the dub.
Dylan's an all-around football player, and I think he loves the game. He plays with passion, but I really believe he has a lot of fun playing this game.
The Patriots are now preparing for a rematch with Buchanan in the playoffs after the Bears handed the Pats their only loss in the season. That's the same team the Pats beat to reach the Valley Championship just a year ago. Well, the Kennedy Thunderbirds were the only team to host a Valley title championship here in Kern County last season in Division 5, now in D4. Playing in the semis on Friday, the team prepares to hit the road and take on Selma in hopes of making another championship game. Kennedy began the regular season 10-0, but lost their final 2 games. The Thunderbirds have rebounded, defeating Santa Maria and Templeton in their first 2 rounds. This Friday, they take on the second-ranked Selma Bears, a team that is fast and athletic, but Kennedy is confident. They believe this is the healthiest they've been since week 1, and despite not being the favorites, they're not shying away from the big game.
We've always been the underdog, so to speak. We're always the smallest group in the field, you know, and we don't carry all those big monster athletes all the time. And so our guys are kind of used to being in that position. They're fighters, they're blue-collar kids. They work in the fields over the summer. So, you know, to them, this is a great time just to be out there playing football. They love it.
And those 2 losses at the end of the season, they're now serving as motivation for this team as they look forward to getting to that game on Friday. Well, last night we got to witness one of the NBA duos we've all been waiting for as Paul George joined Kawhi Leonard on the court as the Clippers faced the Celtics. George put up 25 points while Leonard had 17, including this jam. We got to get a second look on that. We love that. Yikes. Well, 15 seconds left on the clock, and for the tie, it's Jason Tatum for the Celtics, puts George on skates, knocks down the triple. This one would go into overtime, and despite a great effort from Boston, Marcus Smart there making a smart play, the Clippers would be able to pull off the win as Kawhi Leonard gets his fingertips on the ball to stop this shot. Gonna see it right here. Clippers would pull off that win again, 107-104, your final. We love to see the LA Clippers doing well, right? For 23 ABC Sports, I'm Carrie Osep. Have a great morning, everyone.
All right, very good. And we want to welcome you once again to this special digital edition of 23 ABC News at 6. If you're watching this online, you're saying, hey, what's going on? Well, it's because, of course, the impeachment inquiry has started. That is on right now on 23 ABC News, bringing that to you.
Yeah, right now, though, we are talking a lot about the Bakersfield baby shower. I had to make my way back inside because It is
cold?
cold
Just
out
a little
there.
bit.
It is chilly.
Yes, our new morning low is 46.
Oh my gosh, you can definitely tell. It's a huge difference from yesterday.
Yeah, and if there's more moisture in the air, it's clean, cool air out there. So as you're getting your day started, it's jacket weather. We're going to climb up to the 50s this morning, but then stay in the 50s through your lunch hour. That's seasonal, but remember, Monday we were in the 80s. Most of this month we've been in the 80s. So people are like, 46 isn't cold. Yes, it is.
Yes.
We are not acclimated to this. It's really shocking. Up into the mountains, it's very cold for you. Freezing in Tehachapi, Fraser Park, only in those 20s right now. Same with the top of Breckenridge. So again, with the 50s through lunchtime, you can just stay in your car. We'll come out, we'll grab your donations from you for the Bakersfield baby shower. We would love to say hi and shake your hand and thank you in person for your generosity. Fantastic afternoon with those low 60s. That's seasonal and it's great air quality too. As for our roadways, those are doing smoothly because that storm has finally cleared out. But that's the big roadways. Keep in mind, smaller mountain roads are waking up to a lot of ice.
Okay.
Yeah, and speaking of that ice and those freezing temperatures up in our mountain communities, we are tracking some school delays this morning in our mountain communities. We know that the El Cajon Unified School District, they're on a 2-hour snow and ice delay, as well as the Peak to Peak Mountain Charter school, I should say. That's just a single school, Peak to Peak. They are on a 2-hour snow and ice delay as well. We're going to continue tracking this throughout the morning, as we do every morning when we are experiencing icy weather.
And we just heard this rumble outside the 23 ABC studios. Maybe thought it was a little thunder or something. It was Ben Patton and his guys.
Yeah.
Heading out the
out.
parking lot.
A lot of motorcycles out there. But today's the day, the inaugural 23 ABC Bakersfield baby shower. It's underway officially at our studios. So much fun so far.
Yeah, and the sun just came up, so 23 ABC's Daniela Garrido must be much warmer now as people start dropping off those donations.
Warmer. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you guys know, but it actually gets colder right before the sun comes up. I would know because I do this every morning. But you're right, Ben Patton and those guys, they just headed out. They came by here and dropped off some items. And look, we have someone else right now dropping off items. Thank you so much. And look, we have this beautiful arc. Thank you. We have donuts. We have coffee. Thank you for dropping off those items. Tell us a little bit about what you dropped off with us here today.
Well, I dropped off wipes because I know that's a big necessity, because you just don't use them just to wipe their little butt. You also use them for hand cleaning and, you know, cleaning their face, anything.
You're right. Wipes is something that really, it goes by real fast. You use them up real fast, and it is such a necessity for those parents. So thank you so much for passing by here today. Bye.
Thank you.
And look, we have that beautiful arc from J&M Decorations Party Supplies here dropping to greet you as you drop off items. We are accepting everything from gently used baby items like clothing or bottles or things like that, and you can also bring in some new ones. And over here we have the Bakersfield Pregnancy Center. We have Erin Rogers. She's the executive director. What have people dropped off already?
Oh, some wipes, which is amazing. We always need wipes. They go through those really fast. And bottles, clothing, some homemade blankets that are just absolutely beautiful.
That is incredible. Homemade blankets. Not only is the community coming out and dropping off items, but they're dropping off homemade items. And that is so near and dear to any little kid's heart.
Oh, absolutely. Such a treasure. You know, it becomes a legacy or something that you hand down from generation to generation.
What is something that is really a necessity right now in our community?
I just think acts of support like this, bringing these items to support these young families and these young moms, sometimes single young moms, giving them these items just show that we are behind them. We are there to help them as they raise these most vulnerable.
Great, thank you so much, Erin. And let me help you out a little. What do we have here? We have some bottles. The ladies of the Mission of Kern County were actually telling me bottles and sippy cups. That's a really big necessity for those kids and those families. So again, you can drop off anything from diapers to strollers to playpens. What else do we have? We have Gerber food right here. You can drop all of those items off. Oops. And look, what is this? This was my favorite shampoo when I was little. So you guys can drop off anything like this, and it's going to go to those kids and those families in our community. It's all happening right here at our 23 ABC studios until 7:30 p.m. tonight. You can just come in, get greeted by that arc. You don't even need to come out of your car. We'll help you bring all that out. Thank you so much for bringing things. And again, until 7:30, I'm going to send it back to you guys. Daniela Garrido, 23 ABC News, connecting you.
CSUB, Bakersfield College, and Taft College are all challenging students to bring attention to critical family issues. Students will be participating in the first ever Child Development Film Festival today. 10 teams from community colleges and universities have all created public service announcements. that focus on issues like special needs education in early childhood, health and well-being of children, and the preschool to prison pipeline. All of the entries will be shown at the film festival. 3 winners will be selected, 1 from each school, to receive the Mayor's Choice Award. The ultimate prize of the winning entries is that they'll be shown at Maya Cinemas in Bakersfield throughout the month of December.
Today, Tehachapi residents can score some free coffee and discuss any ongoing issues or address questions at the monthly Coffee with the Mayor event. Starting at 7:30 a.m., Tehachapi Mayor Susan Wiggins and City Manager Greg Garrett will be at the coffee mill. Starts at 7:30 this morning and goes until 9:30. They host this event on the 3rd Thursday of each month. The coffee mill, located at 120 South Mill Street.
This morning, we feature a veteran's voice that went silent 76 years ago tomorrow on a tiny island in the South Pacific. Marine Private First Class Joseph Robert Livermore was part of the fierce battle for Tarawa, the first major offensive by the U.S. against Japan. And he remained there on that sandy atoll until earlier this year. His story this morning told to 23 ABC over the course of 3 days last week when he was finally laid to rest.
It was 1 week ago today, Private First Class Joseph Robert Livermore made his return to Kern County. A World War II Marine, killed in action, greeted by crowds throughout Bakersfield, some with a salute in his memory. Or a moment of silence outside his old alma mater. Finally arriving at Union Cemetery.
Forward. Mark.
He left Bakersfield in the days following the attack on Pearl Harbor, enlisting in the Marines. It was the last time his family would see him, but his hometown was never really that far away. When PFC Livermore was finally deployed, he set sail with thousands of Marines for Tarawa in the South Pacific. And it's the last place he'd ever expect to find another guy from Bakersfield.
My mom went to school with Robert since kindergarten at St. Joseph's.
On the way to Tarawa, George said his father, Joe Claroux, a Marine captain, was asked by his mother to try and find Robert among all the faces headed into battle.
He looks on the manifest and he finds Robert's on the boat. So he finds him. And they reminisce and they talk about St. Joseph's. They talk about the nuns they had and their teachers and their friends. And my dad was a captain and he was already been on Guadalcanal, and this was Robert's first campaign. And he basically told Robert, don't worry, the Navy will bombard that island. Robert will be fine. There won't be anybody left.
The battle lasted 3 days, about 76 hours. Livermore and the 1st Battalion 6th Marines landed just off Green Beach on the west side of the atoll, sloshing through chest-deep water, exposed to enemy fire. Once ashore, the Marines engaged the Japanese over the next few days. Robert was killed during an early morning banzai charge on the last day of fighting.
Fighting quickly degenerated into hand-to-hand combat, so the Marines dug in and held. A captured Japanese lieutenant stated after the attack, quote, "I knew the battle was lost when the dying Marines kept coming."
But their sacrifice paved the way for a U.S. victory.
My dad was an Army Air Corps pilot flying B-25s, flew off of Tarawa days after PFC Livermore was killed.
Joseph Livermore was buried with 1,000 other Marines on Tarawa, but the markers were moved and the graves lost for years. The group History Flight has been actively working to find and recover the remains of U.S. Marines on Tarawa for the past 15 years. Earlier this year, Livermore was one of more than 30 remains that were discovered on this remote island.
How they found him, where they found him, how they put him back together and is able to salvage all the bones of his body. So it's really interesting, and it sparked like I say, a flame to want to know more.
Tonight, on this solemn occasion, we proudly welcome home these heroes.
And the fallen heroes have been returned home with full military honors along the way.
Thank God for History Flights and the Department of Defense. They did find him, and we're here today because of that.
It's a return that won't soon be forgotten.
My great uncle has been missing for decades, and to see the community come together and just bring him home was absolutely amazing. I didn't think it was going to be an emotional day, and I've been crying all day long.
Thank you, and I pray for each and every one of you.
His burial at Union Cemetery marking the end of a long journey home.
And we want to tell your veterans' story. Send us information on someone who's served, a picture, some basic information. Or does your veteran need a landscaping makeover? Jay's Garden Works has partnered up with 23 and would like to help out a member of our local military to clean up their yards. Send us your nominations. Very simply, just send them to mike@kero.com. Switch gears, bring Elena back in, take another look out. So that's a lot of activity.
It's a lot of activity. Thankfully, though, it's pushing to the north, a little bit trailing to our south, but we are slow to clear here in Kern County because we still had breezes, some showers, some cloud cover. Stopped us from getting any fog. We're at 46 right now, freezing in the mountains, though, so they're dealing with icy roads this morning. A lot of people saying that it's hard to defrost their cars, too. Later on this afternoon, those sunny low 60s here on the valley floor. Great air quality. That is seasonal. It's dry, and it's setting us up for the perfect recipe for dense fog tonight into tomorrow morning. Up in the mountains, you have 50s in the Kern River Valley for your highs, 40s from Tehachapi to Fraser Park regions. Down into the desert, plenty of 50s there, and it's calm and quiet for today, but we'll talk more about that fog chance tonight coming up. As for your roadways, the passes are open, but again, those side mountain streets are icy here on the valley floor. Other than construction, nothing to slow you down for now.
All right, and
okay, I'll do this. Joining us this morning in studio to talk about some issues that are going on within the Sheriff's Department. We've got Sheriff Donnie Youngblood joining us this morning. Thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it. First, you were outside.
Yes.
We left you outside in the
Yes,
cold.
there was a party out there and they had donuts. I had to go.
You said, I'm just going to hang out here for a little while. One thing that we wanted to talk about, I wanted to start off with this because it is, of course, big in the Central Valley. We're talking about what happened up in Fresno, the mass shooting just recently, and so many different departments up there and agencies all getting involved in the investigation. Did anyone reach out to Kern County?
No, we were ready for a mutual aid request, but they contained it pretty quickly.
Were you surprised? I mean, I wanted to also discuss the difference between gangs here and gangs in Fresno. There is that sort of a urban legend that there are many more gang members in there that they're dealing with.
Well, it's a different type of gang. Those are Hmongs that we know can be extremely violent, very personal in their attack, and that's exactly what I think we probably saw there. I haven't talked to the chief or Sheriff Mims about this. I'll meet with them next week, but it was pretty violent.
We always ask this question, and so I'm going to ask it again. In the light of something like this that happens, do you take some of that information, just even on a cursory level, with your commanders, with your people in charge, and say, okay, like even a little debriefing, what happened, you know, how might this play out if we had to respond to something like this?
We used to, but we're having so many that, and they're, most of them are very similar. You know, we had now a couple at parties where people showed up, like remember Halloween, there was one.
Right.
And so that's, you know, these things are trendy and they copycat. So people need to be aware of what they see occur so that they don't place themselves in jeopardy.
Let's talk about Ian Chandler, Sheriff's Commander, who just passed away unexpectedly. Can you first talk about your relationship with him over the years?
Yeah, I knew Ian a long time before he ever came to work. He was actually married to a member of my family. And so I knew Ian when he before he came to work and watched him mature as a young man, watched him come to the organization and excel and do a great job. At
49, I mean, going through so many different departments, just recently promoted again, what does that loss mean for you with someone who's still fairly young in the administrative branch?
Yeah, Ian's loss it was really felt, not just because of the job that he did, but because of the relationships he had with members of the organization. He had a unique personality. Everyone liked Ian. And so it was kind of a double whammy, very unexpected. And you know, he had an impact on our organization, and will be greatly missed. There's no question. You can't replace that.
And let's put up. We have some of the funeral information, the services that are coming up. I believe it is next week. Yes, Tuesday, November 26th at Canyon Hills, beginning at 10 a.m. That is followed by a reception, I believe, at the Buck Owens Crystal Palace.
That is correct.
Is that right? And moving forward from this,
good morning.
How does the department then make changes in light of his passing?
Well, there'll be promotions. You know, as
you have one coming up, a ceremony, correct?
We do tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
But every time somebody retires or we have a tragedy like this, you go through a string of promotions, and this one is bittersweet, of course. But someone will step up. Someone will take over that job. We're all expendable, including the sheriff. Somebody's going to be there when I leave to take over and do just fine. So his passing is more personal for all of us than it was professional because of the personality that he had.
Now, when you do leave, I just want you to know, I mean, you're more than welcome to come and help out with the Bakersfield baby shower anytime that you want.
I was already invited this morning.
To come back and help with the collections. That's great. All right, Donnie, thank you for coming in
My
this
pleasure,
morning.
Mike.
Appreciate it. And let's go to Elena to take another look outside at what's happening. A lot of activity outside. I think in the background we just heard Danielle headed back outside, didn't we?
Yes, they're excited to be out there getting you ready for the Bakersfield baby shower. If you're going to swing by on your way to work, we are so excited to see you. We'll leave you warm in your car because it's 46 right now here in Bakersfield, freezing up in those mountains. So they're dealing with a lot of ice this morning after yesterday's snow. It turned back to rain and then it was very slow to clear out overnight, but a couple snow flurries were left in those trapped clouds overnight. Now as that system head towards Vegas, it's going to take its cold air with it, so we are clear and calming here in the heart of California. So heading into tonight, we are clear, we're calm, and we're saturated. That's the perfect recipe for some dense valley fog tomorrow. And then as we push that system further out of the way, you see high pressure is building for the weekend ahead. That leaves us sunny and stable each afternoon, but also still means some patchy fog each morning, Saturday and Sunday especially. And that's really particularly for the agricultural areas. Tomorrow it's fog for the whole valley. Heading into this weekend, it should be fog for the agricultural areas. Anywhere you have wet soil, you know it's really prone to form there. Now heading into next week, we have breezes Tuesday, chance of rain that night into Wednesday. Really big deal. Wednesday is our busiest travel day of the year. We know so many people from Northern California come barreling right through our passes. With a chance of rain for the valley, it is a chance of snow for the mountains. So we're keeping a close eye on this. Don't cancel your travel plans. Don't say, oh, I can't come on the trip because of the weather. Watch it as we get closer. We'll keep a close eye on the weather and the traffic, let you know best times to travel, best times to avoid, and we'll get you there safely, right? Heading into Thanksgiving, thankfully, whether you're staying here in Kern County like I am or you're heading somewhere else, it's calm, it's clear, it's cool, but it's dry. And then heading into Black Friday, that day is clear as well. And I always mention Black Friday because we have so many people camping outside for those big deals. It's going to be so cold, but won't be raining on your tent. Kern River Valley, 57 today, 60s for the weekend. Tehachapi, Fraser Park, very icy this morning, like I mentioned, 40s this afternoon. That snow is all gone this weekend, so there's nothing for you to play in this weekend, I'm sorry. But heading into next week, again, trying to get a little bit more snow on Wednesday. We're keeping a close eye on that situation. And let's head back outside to those cool 40s this morning, where our team is collecting those donations for the Bakersfield baby shower.
You guys, we're having so much fun. It kind of is like a party out here because look at, oh, Mike.
Where do you want these?
He just brought those in, didn't he? Look at this. I mean, truly, we have so many diapers already. Look at all of these clothes that we have in front of us. We have wipies, baby bottles. Obviously, that is a huge need in the community. And it's really just going to the people, the most vulnerable babies and children in our community. And we're coming together with these 3 local organizations. We have the Mission at Kern County, the Bakersfield Pregnancy Center, the Jameson Children's Center. Mike found a really cute pair of shoes that someone dropped off. But we really are just having so much fun. We're going to be out here until 7:30 p.m. tonight. We have a drive-through area for you. You don't even have to, try to turn your car around in this parking lot. You just drive right through, roll down your window, hand us these donations, and they're going to the people who really need them in our community. Yeah, Alyssa found a really cute blanket.
Yeah, this is warm. I'm going to keep holding this.
And these ones are dropped off. These were homemade.
Handmade. How incredible is this?
Yeah, absolutely. So I just want to talk to you guys really quickly one more time about the need for this in the community and how important this is for Bakersfield and Kern County.
Oh, this is so important. I know for the Bakersfield Pregnancy Center and the Mission of Kern, these donations are going to go a long ways in supporting our moms, our dads, and these new families with the new babies.
Absolutely, Erin, thank you. And I want to ask you guys too, what are some of the biggest things that people need to drop off that often goes, forget about? Because there's a lot of clothes here, but there's other things that moms and new moms, young moms, single moms really, really need.
Yes, well, everybody loves a smell of a baby, so they need hygiene, lotion, soaps to help them keep their babies clean.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. There's so many things. We have a list of items that you can drop off on our website, turnto23.com. It doesn't have to be brand new clothing. You can drop off gently worn items. And as you can see, it's barely 7 a.m. in Kern County already showing up. We are so so excited. We're going to be out here all day. We're going to be doing some Facebook Lives with you guys. We want to meet you when you come out here and drive up, and we're just going to have so much fun. So we're going to have a lot more information on Facebook, on our website, turnto23.com, and you can find everything that you can drop off there. But other than that, thank you for joining for our special edition 23 ABC Newscast online. We are going to have a lot of fun out here, and we'll hopefully see you later today.